1.
Boom! And welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Cedar Run Decoys. Listen, folks, if you want to buy something that you can pass down to your grandkids, you need to go to Cedar Run. You can get the decoys. They can make you stuff. They can make you a dozen decoys. They can make you one that's a collectibles items. But if you've got the means, go get a dozen or 2 dozen hand-carved decoys, hunt over them, and then when you're gone, your grandkids can hunt over them 50 years later. It'll be a hell of a tribute to yourself. Just a good idea. Anyways, that's at cedarrundecoys.com. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world-famous Andy Shaver.
I co-sign everything Jeff said.
Yep. Also, before we get into this next podcast, my prayers go out to the 2 young hunters in Colorado. Been missing for 4 or 5 days. They found them. They've been passed away. Been struck by lightning.
Oh, wow. That's what. So they didn't.
Yeah, that's what killed them. They got struck by lightning. So it's a horrible thing.
I thought they got lost.
Yeah, well, I don't know what happened. But anyways, they found him in a ravine. They've been struck by lightning. Prayers to his family. With us today, Mr. Brett Shaffer with the Grumpy Duck Company. How are you doing, sir?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. How are you? Where exactly is your shop at?
My shop is in central Pennsylvania. We're in a little town called Belleville. We're in Mifflin County, and it's basically the center of the state, north and south, east and west.
So are you in Amish country, or is Amish more to the east of you? Or
no, we're definitely in Amish country, and we're people in Pennsylvania know Lancaster is Amish country, and that's kind of where it's like more commercialized. Here, it's they're just everybody's neighbor. Lots of produce stands, lots of businesses, things like that. But lots of buggies.
I can ask him the question from our last podcast. Have you ever
Sure.
met do the Amish have any autistic? We're talking about they don't have autism that anybody knows about. Now, I'm sure you've met some that have some problems, but have you ever met an autistic Amish person?
Not that I'm aware of, but I know there's some adopted Amish children in some of the churches locally. So it's hard to tell, if any of the kids you would see that you might question, I have no idea what, but we don't see it as again, they're not in our schools. They have their own schools. I don't know. It's hard to tell from just living here.
Well,
I don't know them well enough.
They are great craftsmen.
Yeah, they build that barn you were in?
Nobody works harder.
Yeah.
They can build a barn in half a day.
Yep, for sure.
I saw a video of them yesterday moving a barn.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see that big barn?
Yeah, 50 of them.
Yeah. Shit, there's 100 of them in there. They carried a barn, quarter of a mile.
Pick it up and move it.
Just picked it up and moved around.
Yep.
Thought, well, you ain't getting some lazy ass Americans to do that. Well, I guess they are Americans, but you ain't getting the average white folk ain't doing that shit.
Yeah, and it happens once in a while, but when barns burn down, had one a couple summers ago, and it's they're already planning to build before the thing's done burning. They'll have it back up in a few weeks. It's pretty intense, but it's a community effort. They are very, very community driven. So
shit, ain't nothing to it but to do it.
Have y'all cooled off up there yet?
Yeah, we finally got some rain. We were really dry for weeks and weeks, but it's starting to. We got rain yesterday and a little today. It's supposed to rain a little bit this week, but we've had 2-3 weeks of just great weather, 40, 50 in the morning, 70 in the day, 70, maybe 80.
I'm jealous. It was 103 yesterday here.
It's been miserable.
Awful. But this happens every single year. And every single year I say the same thing because we get the last couple of summers have been pretty mild, pretty wet. And then in August, we get this cool front and it'll dip down into the 80s in August. And everybody's like, ooh, we're going to get an early start to fall and September's going to be beautiful. And I'm like, no, it's going to be hot as balls for 3 weeks in September. And now finally today we got a little cold front coming. I think we're in the highs of the 70s and 80s for the next couple of days, but it's just cool your jets, people. Cool your jets. Yeah, high tomorrow, 84.
Yeah, a lot of the people we used to work with that were up here from Oklahoma and Texas in oil and gas, they would always say they really enjoyed summer in Pennsylvania because you could actually do stuff outside and you didn't have to wait for it to get dark.
Yeah. So. Yeah, we had my kids had football practice yesterday, and it's just miserable.
We just got a 10th of an inch of rain at the house just now. Thank God.
Really?
Yeah, that's how we got a 10th of an inch. I'm excited. So, Plus, maybe it'll cool down a little bit.
So what with you being in Central Pennsylvania, which way do you lean football wise, Eagles or Steelers, or none of the above?
Yeah, yeah, it's not going to make anybody happy, but the only sports memorabilia I own is a Patriots jersey.
Well, that's okay.
So, but it's not a Brady. It was a Curtis Martin before he became a
great
Jet.
running back.
Oh,
He was
wow.
a Pitt Panther.
Yeah. So I was a Patriots fan long before they ruled the world for a while. But
He's a local. Isn't he from Aliquippa too?
I think he might be.
Yeah, I'm
not sure.
Is that where Joe Namath was from? Beaver Falls, right? Tony Dorsett was from Aliquippa, I think. But that was a hotbed for football for a long time.
Wasn't Didcove?
Dan Marino came from up there. I think Mike Ditka came from up there. Kenny Pickett comes from up there. Nobody brags about him ever. So how did we get in the grumpy duck business? Now, the official word is a charger is what they're called, right?
Well, we always say bolt handle.
Okay.
Because anything charging handle might be related to an AR part, and that in the world of the internet is more dangerous.
Well, a guy come in my office the other day and he said, "Do you have a charge handle?" I'm like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "What, for an iPhone?"
A lot of people, it's bolt handle. I've heard them called a number of things, but bolt handle or charging handle is fine too. But no, it was just an accident completely. My dad's a machinist, and we had a banded duck, and I didn't have a lot of bands. And so I just had the idea I wanted to do something different. And I just took the idea to him, just a little drawing on a paper. He made the first prototype out of steel. And immediately I was like, it's too heavy, because I was shooting a Benelli M2 20 gauge. And, just worrying about the inertia action, I said, let's make it out of some titanium. So made one, and that first prototype we made 4 just like it. And my dad had one, I had one, and then I gave one to my buddy Alex, and then a buddy that took me on my first real duck hunts on the Chesapeake, Billy. He's a taxidermist in Delaware, and then he was hunting with a lot of different guys. And with that handle, he was texting me just every couple of days. He's like, "Hey man, everybody that sees it wants it. Can you make me 2 more? Can you make me 3 more?" So from there, I thought I had something. And then I actually pitched it to Brandon at Boss, because I had been a customer of theirs and I loved their business model. And I said, "Hey, if we make these and put, your info on it," he just wasn't interested at that time and it's fine. And I was like, well, then I'll try it. So I had the product first, and then the name came later.
How'd you get the name Grumpy Duck?
Went through a ton of iterations, but it came across first, and my wife said no. And then my buddies just left it, and it came back around, and everybody liked it. And my wife didn't like it because it was too fitting for me. I'm not a morning person usually, and that's not good when you're hunting all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, but and it's the fallback on customer service. If people get snotty, we didn't name it Friendly Duck for a reason. So,
right, you're setting the tone early.
Yeah, it's trying. That's it. It's but I like to do business straightforward and honest, and
yeah,
it's just what you're getting. I hope.
What's your we see you at all the shows. What's your favorite show that you go to?
Oh man,
and you're not going to hurt nobody's feelings, because everybody's got a favorite.
There's different parts of them though. Yeah, NWTF's always a great one. Just the whole culture, everybody's there. Easton Waterfowl is a really great show, and I really enjoy that show. And I actually don't know if I'm doing it yet this year. I'm not signed up. My wife and I always loved the town of Easton, and that's a fun little area.
I wish it was any other time of the year I would go. That's the only one that's the only big show in America I think I haven't been to.
Yeah, and it's if that's one of those, if you could ever sneak away just to enjoy it, it's a nice show. Squad Fest, man, the guys at Dive Bomb put on a great show. As far as organize, helping out the vendors and the customers that are, some of that stuff they've done in the past. But Ducks Unlimited was really great this year.
That's the most organized show I've ever been to in my life. That I've had a booth at. I haven't had a booth at any of the. We haven't done a show on our own in probably 6 years, and we went to that show this year, and it was so amazing how efficient it was.
Yeah, and also the feedback from Ducks and the volunteers, employees. Like, nobody walked past you without asking you if you need anything, or come up and chat with you, and that was a different experience. And even I thought, like, the energy of setting up for DU for Ducks it felt more like NWTF. Like,
that when they come by,
you knew it was going to be a good show before it was a good show.
Yes, and they left you cards on your table thanking you for being there and stuff. I've been at shows before at Texas. We used to do a big show, and they acted like you were a burden to even be there to them. Well, they don't realize.
I did the one show in Texas, the Duck Show, but
no, this was a different company though that would do it. This was a different organization. I'm not going to slam them on here and name their name, but everybody knows it's a big one in Texas. But they just acted like you were a burden to be there for them. Well, outfitters, the reason people are coming to these shows and hunting stuff. And now you go to their show and all it is glass cleaner and beef jerky. Well, hell, nobody wants to go see that shit. It's just a glorified swap meet. But I like that. Have you done the show in Harrisburg?
Oh, that's my home show. That's only an hour from me. So I've done that 4 years.
That's long 10 days.
It's like one of those things. I think vendors should try it because you just get an immense amount of exposure. But I completely understand the logistics of it. It's a 9-day show, and they're long days, and it's the winter in Pennsylvania. So yeah, last year it got at least shut down early. We had ice. It was pretty nasty at least 1 or 2 of the days last year.
I did it one time, and I had a kid that worked for me. We drove up and we had the big booth, the wooden booth with the mounts and all that stuff. And we set up, and about 2 days in, a buddy of mine flew up and was there for 3 days with me. So me and this guy that worked for me, we split the booth up. I would go in the morning, and I would be there till like 1 or 2. And then he would come in at 1 or 2, and he would stay the rest of the day during the week. On weekends, we were both there. And I got to go see a lot of stuff. We went to Hershey, Pennsylvania. We went to Gettysburg. So I went and got to see a lot of things. And so I've told Michelle, I said, man, you need to go to Pennsylvania. There's a lot to see. She hasn't got to see that area of the country yet. But it wasn't that bad, but just for 10 days. And then I did the sports show in Minneapolis years ago, and it was a 10-day show. And during the middle of the week, it was freaking brutal. And it was in March. It was cold and snowing. There wasn't nothing to do, but it was a brutal 10 days, just long.
Yeah. This year, the Harrisburg show and NWTF conflict. So I have to split. I'll be splitting booze. A lot of people will probably have to split booze.
I wonder.
Try to do both.
So Harrisburg moved theirs back a week then?
Well, it's just the way the calendar falls. It's the second. How is it? No, it's the first Saturday in February is the start of it.
So it goes through to the second week, because we always go to Mexico.
Then it pushes it into Valentine's Day weekend, which is NWTF.
Yeah. Because we come home on Sunday or Monday from Mexico, and then we go to Nashville on Wednesday for Turkey. And then,
I'll be working Harrisburg until probably Monday or Tuesday, and then leave out to head to Nashville. Because
that's also the same time as the Seawee, which I've always wanted to go to it also in Charleston. They say it's a really cool show to go to.
Yeah, that'd be fun. It's
Yeah, the Great Outdoor Show is February 7th to the 15th, and then NWTF is the 11th through the 15th. But I think those first couple of days, they do something for just members of NWTF.
Yeah,
so I'm assuming it'd be 12, 13, 14. Yeah, 12, 13, 14 probably.
And I tell the people all the time, I'm not a turkey hunter. I've never shot a turkey. I went one time on a guided hunt. The guy pissed me off, wouldn't let me shoot. He sat next to me here, so I'm not ever going again. Mm-hmm. But you need to go to that. And the turkey is quickly becoming a waterfowl show. Or I
Well,
should
it
say
just
quickly,
it just got
there's just
everything.
a lot
It's
of
got
waterfowl stuff there is what I guess I should say. You can get all your waterfowl gear at Turkey if you want to also, besides the turkey stuff. I was really surprised by that.
Yeah.
But it is a hellacious show put on. It's a great venue at the Gaylord. So it's a good time. I've really enjoyed it. So what's your number one selling gun that you're putting your charger on?
Benelli Franchi 12 gauge, hands down.
Why?
No, nothing close.
Why is it that gun?
I can't tell you, but yeah, Benelli Franchi 12 outsells everything head to head. It's just there's just so many variants, and they've been around. They've made the SBE 1, 2, 3s now, and just everybody. But 12 gauge. And anybody that likes sub gauge, I'm one of them. I love to shoot 20 and 28, but there's just not that many of us out there in raw numbers compared to 12 gauge. Because when I first started, it's like you make in your quantities, you try to make a lot of sub gauge stuff because you like it, but 12 gauge is king for sure. But and 10 gauge has come back. I sell some 10 gauge handles too, but yeah. But Benelli Franchi 12, Beretta A400, which is Beretta X, A5, Stoger, and probably SX Winchester SX4 are the top 5 if I was to hit
Now,
based on
I wonder if that is what the young kids shoot. Like, because I'm just assuming here, correct me if I'm wrong, but is the majority of your clientele like the younger kids that are trying to trick out their guns?
Yes and no. I mean, those are the ones that are most like the fastest to buy, without a doubt.
Right.
But I definitely have a lot of older customers that will look at it and think about it. And when guys will come up to the show and it's like, man, I should have bought it last year and I didn't, and they buy it. And it's like, and then they come back and say, I love it. And I have a lot of repeat customers. A lot of people, when they get one on a gun, they buy the other. As soon as they get a new gun, they get another one, or they start adding to the other guns.
Mm-hmm. So it's the flat bill crowd, because Trevor told me that about when Pacific goes to the Squad Fest. He goes, those kids got $200 to spend, and they're going to spend $200 on whatever they want, and that's it. He goes, and they're all the same.
Yeah. Which I definitely think the 18 to 30 crowd is my biggest customer base. But I definitely have, which is nice to hear, like older hunters. It's like, you absolutely don't need this part if you have a factory bolt handle. I tell that to every customer. Like, you don't need it if you have a handle. Like, it's just a little bit better and it looks better.
Yeah.
So
the
20, it's a character piece.
Are you noticing more and more 28 gauges now?
Yeah, but generally with my sales, I can't tell the difference between a 20 and a 28 because the way they're sold. It's the guns are the same, the bolts would be the same for those two.
Either way. You said a mingo a 10 gauge. It still cracks me up that people are shooting 10 gauges.
Yeah.
I mean,
the ones that are, they're diehard about it too.
Yeah, they're not leaving it.
I grew up with shooting.
Guarantee that's an old man.
No, not shooting. It's 10.
You think it's a young kid?
I think it's going to be some guys my age and younger, maybe. Old guys, no, it's too fucking hard on your shoulder.
But not young kids, I don't think.
No. You probably 45 to 55 probably. When I was growing up, I got to shoot. My first gun I shot was a 20 gauge, and I went from a 20 to a 12 in about 2 trips. Then I started shooting a 12, and I shot that my whole life. Got in the hunting business, and our federal government said no more lead. We're going to shoot steel, and so we had to shoot 10 gauges because it was absolutely shit shot out there. It was terrible, and we were shooting T shot and F shot and triple Bs and everything, and I had a 10 gauge over under. And it was a piece of crap, and both barrels would go off sometimes. It was rough. And then the steel got better, and then Boss came on the scene, and it just changed everything. And now I'm shooting a 28 gauge. And my shoulder, I went dove hunting. I've dove hunted the other day, and we went teal hunting with the grandkids. And my shoulder the other day, I was shooting in a kind of an angle sideways a couple times and hurt. And I thought, God, I'm glad I'm shooting a 28 and not something bigger.
Yeah. I really like the 28. Like, it's very few times where, especially where I hunt, we're not hunting a lot of big water. A lot of your ducks are really close, so shooting 28 is just fine. But dove hunting, I love it. It's not really a disadvantage whatsoever. But yeah, just pattern your gun and shoot sporting clays and you'll get better.
I got an old friend of mine that called me about a week ago, and he's got a 28 gauge over under he's had since 1960 something. And he told me, he said, I want you to have it because he said, I don't know how long I'm going to be here. He probably outlived me, but he wants to give me this gun. But he told me, he said, now I want you to shoot with this gun. I don't want you to just put it in your safe. I want you to actually shoot it. So I can't wait to shoot it. But man, I just love shooting them guns.
Yeah. Yeah. And like you said, the Boss ammo, and that's really why I went to the 20 gauge back in like 2019 or so is when I got that gun. And that was before I even started this. So I was shooting Boss and loved that little 20 gauge, and then all my buddies bought them. And yeah, but like I said, we think it's really popular, but it's still 12 gauge is hands down like 20 to 1 or 30 to 1 probably.
Oh, it's by far the most popular, but I don't even think about shooting a 12 gauge no more. I've got old Satori over under that I'm going to give either one of the boys or the grandkids when I die that I've shot thousands and thousands of rounds through, but I haven't even thought about picking it up in the last 5 years, and I doubt I ever shoot it again. It's not that much fun, and it kicks too damn much.
You never know.
No, I've got a little Mossberg 28 over under they sent me. I really like it. It's a fun gun, and a 410. I've got a 410 and a 28 gauge. I need to start shooting my 410 again. But I can tell you one thing: I'm a pretty good shot with my 28. Boy, a 410 humbles me pretty damn fast.
Mm-hmm. Not a whole lot of pellets in those little loads.
Andy would starve to death if Andy had to shoot a 410 and survive to have to eat what he killed.
Shit. I would be more picky with my shots. Yeah. When I get that 12 gauge, I'm like, fuck it, let it eat.
And I think that's like even with hunting, just get like your setups and how you hunt really dictates what you need.
Yeah.
Like where I hunt, you can almost jump across the creeks. The mallards, like they're probably in your lap. You got to back off so you're not too close. So it's, you can shoot them with whatever you want if you set up right and they do it. But, we're not hunting big water or big honkers a lot of times. And when we do, we will take 12 gauge. But
so you're hunting small creeks and everything up there?
Where most of my hunting is really small creeks, like pasture creeks. Like you see like the skinny water mallards.
Yeah.
That's we have little limestone fed streams, but there's very, very few ducks, and there's some pressure. We got a lot of jump shooters around here. It's not a waterfowling area, so nobody really does it.
Is what, mostly deer hunting area?
Yeah, very big deer hunting, and used to be some small game, but not too much of that anymore either.
Is it harder to get on places because of the deer hunters?
Not. I mean, if you're trying to get deer hunt permission,
no, like goose hunting, or duck hunting.
It can be easy to get some permissions. But again, we're just working with so few waterfowl that along the river it's over the mountain from me. We hunt that a lot, and there's some fields along there, but most of the time it's private. You could probably get on, but most of it's already has permission granted, and so you're not going to get it.
Yeah, we had a coon hunter on a couple of days ago, and he was talking about how hard it is to get permission to run coon dogs on places that have deer leases. So I didn't know if that was applying to where you are also. Yeah,
we're not that area. We have, like I said, we have a lot of, there's like our mountains are broken up into really small parcels, and we have a lot of Amish, and it's like you have a lot of varied opinions on how they respect property boundaries, and they're all very different. But yeah, deer hunting and leasing and growing deer around here isn't a thing. It's not like that. This is a harvest area. We shoot a lot of deer, and we're in one of the CWD areas, so they issue a lot of doe permits and they get shot.
Really?
They kill more deer in Pennsylvania than I think any state other than Texas. But there's more deer hunters in Pennsylvania than any state in the United States.
Like per density or per capita, I don't know the exact details, and that's why I got into waterfowling, truthfully, is the guy I used to fish with was a waterfowl hunter. And so he took me on a couple of like wood duck and mallard hunts, and I was like, this is way better than sitting in a tree stand being cold still and not seeing any deer. So I quickly moved to that. And because deer hunting is just not my thing. It just took me a long time to like, because that's what your family grows up doing, and my dad, and my brother were big deer hunters, and they archery hunted, and I just never got that bug. So then just got into duck hunting and fishing.
Do y'all have elk there in the Poconos?
Well, the elk are pretty much straight north of me, about an hour and a half, 2 hours. And the elk are in the north central part of Pennsylvania. So the Poconos would be east of the elk.
What about
we got some giants, like absolute giants.
what about bears? Y'all got a lot of bears there too, don't you?
Lots of bears. Yeah, and some of the heaviest. Like we have every year there's 700 to 800 pound black bears shot. No, maybe not 800 every year, but definitely 6s, 700s. Like locally, we went back and looked at one. I mean, it was a number of years ago, but it was like 691.
So a deer in your neighborhood's pretty normal. I mean, a bear's pretty damn normal to see.
You just don't see them that much. I mean, if you're out spotting deer or something, you might see them, but you don't. I've only seen probably 3 or 4 hunting the whole time.
So
we don't have heavy density, but we just live in the middle of the mountains though too.
Have you hunted up New York? Have you hunted New York State at all? Have you went up to like Montezuma's wildlife area?
No, I have not personally.
That is
the guy that works for me, Ryan. He's hunted some around the Finger Lakes. I don't know about Montezuma, but
man, that whole area, I absolutely love upstate New York. It's as pretty a place as there is anywhere in the United States.
Yep.
It's so beautiful up there.
I used to fish all those Finger Lakes. I fished Keuka, Cayuga, and Seneca back in high school and college, doing all that. And
have you been to Alexandria Bay and hunted up there or fished up there?
No.
Right on the St. Lawrence River. I think Bass does a big tournament up there. It is that's the prettiest place I've been to in this country. I think
the Thousand Islands area.
Yes.
Yeah. I've been there. I've been there a few times, but I never fished it. Never got a chance to. But I fished Erie a number of times, and there's some giant smallmouth in there. So.
That whole area is nice. And what'd y'all catch, Andy? Y'all caught lake trout or salmon when y'all were fishing?
Salmon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big old fighters.
Yep. And there's different, in the lakes, different lakes and different times, salmon, trout, or walleye are usually the main targets of the guys actually like meat fishing.
That's what we caught in Lake Ontario, and then Andy fished. No, we fished the St. Lawrence River, and you fished in Lake Ontario, is where you fished in front of the house.
I did,
and that's where y'all caught the salmon. Erie's where that's what runs into the Niagara Falls, right? From Cleveland to Buffalo.
He's not a geologist.
A geologist,
geographer guy.
Yeah.
Well, I'm certified to teach geography, so I should know. But
are you really?
Just above Buffalo.
Yeah, from Buffalo to Cleveland's Lake Erie, I think.
I'll just settle this debate
it's not a debate. I'm 99% sure of that.
Oh yeah. I hear what you're saying now. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. Did you hear that, Andy? That's something your mom's never said. Jeff, you're right, ever.
Some fact checker will tell us we're wrong.
Isn't it neat at the hunting shows how it's kind of a family oriented, because you see the same people year in and year out at the same places, and you're around everybody for 6 weeks out of the year, and during the midsummer it's 3 or 4 weeks straight, and then everybody goes their own ways, and then you come back the next year. It's the same thing. People get older and fatter every year.
Yeah, and it's like interesting coming especially from like a pure consumer, because I would have gone to any of these shows, and I actually went to Easton Waterfowl before I started this. So like, I was just like every other guy walking around there looking to buy something. And now being on the other side of it is really an interesting perspective. So
I never was on the other side of the aisle. I've always been on that side of the aisle. I never been to a hunting show till I got in the hunting business. So I've never been to it on the other side. I mean, I've been to some that I guess I really wasn't involved with, but people don't realize how close a fraternity is. And there's little groups that get together out of the big group.
Oh yeah. See that at NWTF a lot, like guys talking, and that's where they see their buddies until they meet up and hunt, or, maybe one other time a year, and that's the customers, not even the vendors, but yeah, getting to know like Dirk and the guys at Boss, it's like, it's really cool for, coming from me.
It's a different deal. I've had so many guys walk by the show, and I was like, man, that'd be so cool to do that for a living. Well, find you something niche in it that it's there it's out there. There's so many things
Yeah.
since I started in business to today. There's been so many different new companies and new ideas. Just like your business is. Nobody else thought nothing of that until you did it.
And I mean, there's a few of them out there, but this was just different enough, and it's like doing something it's a high quality and it's different. But it's running a business it's a lot of fun, but man, it's a lot of stress too. So it's like, I tell everybody, and a lot of people, because we do Cerakote here in the shop, and it's like, if anybody wants to get into it, like there's a lot of work out there. And if you love it, but it's production work. Mm-hmm. So you can make anything work, but it's going to be work.
What is the most time consuming bolt that you have to make start to finish?
Well, on the machining end of it, it would be like probably the Beretta X, mm-hmm. or the Benelli Vinci is really a goofy one. But the Beretta X just on the pin design, so that takes the most operations in the CNC machines. And then on my end for building, probably any of the engraved stuff. Right. Where just the runtime and the laser is just sitting there. But other than that, when we're Cerakoting, we're doing them in batches. So you're getting 50, 100, 150 in a batch if you want.
So how did you figure out the design for all these different bolt handles?
Just created them.
Really?
Yeah. And it's like one of those just drawing designs. So growing up, my dad's had the machine shop, his own little shop, and it's just him and my brother right now. They had a part-time guy for a couple of years running some stuff, and then he just moved on. And then I grew up working in Dad's machine shop. So I know and understand the production, but I just do not like running production. It just doesn't work with me. So I've always liked the creative part. And so this finally worked out. But, Dad spent years and years and years entertaining all different ideas, but custom making jig molds for fishing stuff. But when we got to the handles, it was like, I'll draw it out and he'll cut one and I'll say, change this or this and cut another one. And once we settled, because the banded design came first. Mm-hmm. And then we have the standard, which is what we just put as like a plane, and then you can engrave on the face of it if you want. And then the extended engraved, which is the longest design. And then we did a Jake. It's a short minimalist design for the turkey hunters, and we just released that at NWTF, and we're going to expand the lineup on that. So
why do they want a small handle?
So like the Benellis are famous for a Benelli click.
Yeah.
And it's like when you sit down, or if your handle just catches on something and disengages that bolt.
I see.
And yeah, we had a heartbreaker this spring. I had a buddy up, Sean, came up from Florida, and Dad called in 2 gobblers, and it was a long morning hunt, but we were on birds, and it was just a perfect hen come in cutting. She walked off, 2 gobblers walked right in, and Sean's on the left, and they stopped, and it's the loudest click you've ever heard. Ooh. And he was using my gun, like one I've built up, and it just clicked, and nothing you can do about it.
Yeah. But there's been it's hard, man. Could you?
Oh, I've never had it happen to me on a turkey. I mean, it's happened in other situations, and it's rare, but it was a heartbreaker, that one.
I had it. I used to shoot the Benelli Nova a lot, and I would just go straight from goose hunting, and then I'd put it up, and then I'd brust it back out for turkey season. And there were a couple times that I had a bird on the other end of the barrel, and the Benelli Nova clicked, and you're like, okay, I think I have enough time to rack one and get a shot off, and it never works. Never works, especially with
they're already like that. They're already looking at you when that sound, because these 2 birds looked directly at him and froze.
Right,
and he didn't move, and I actually shot the second one. First one jumped on that bird, but it was behind a tree for him, and then it ran off. But
that sucks.
Yeah, but yeah, the minimalist handle is just a small design that is only meant like just just to open it, and it hopefully never catches on anything. But
That actually makes a lot
we
of
call it
sense.
Jake.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Did somebody come to you with that idea, or is that something that you figured out through this experience?
That was actually an idea I didn't want to do. I hated the idea. And there's a guy, Darren Dye, him and my dad got to chatting, and he was bugging my dad, and Dad's like, yeah, I'll make you one. And I was like, all right. And then Dad made one, and I told him, I was like, don't post it anywhere. And of course he did. And so then I got a bunch of messages, and it's a good thing. It's one of those, like, I'll admit I was dead wrong on that, because I'll make, and other people want them for other models now. So good.
You never know when your next idea is going to strike. You just got to be open to everything.
Yeah. That's tough though.
Oh no, I know it is. The hunting season schedule, or the hunting season show schedule, has to be brutal because you're so far away from a lot of stuff. Like it's a road trip no matter where the show is.
Yeah, for me. Yeah.
Except for Harrisburg.
Harrisburg, but then I mean it's still an hour, and I don't stay. It's like I still got to drive an hour on each side of the show, so that's still a little rough. But I get to come home. And Easton's only 5 hours or so, 4 hours, but other than that, just on the road a lot.
So what do you go back and forth the whole time? Because I know the Pacific guys, like, they have like 3 weeks and they just take a trailer down and they're just staying.
Hell, they
go back and forth.
I'm usually just crashing in between. I got just different friends strewn about the country, and now like I hung out with Isaac Neal in between the Delta and Ducks, I think. So that was a good, just messing around, getting some work done, fishing. But I stay on the road and usually fly my help to me, because I try to run a really small booth, just me and one other person, try to hold it down. But yeah, my wife comes to several shows, and then I got a few buddies that are really good and can help me, and they're pretty flexible, and they've been able to travel with me.
It's not. Can you imagine going back from Spokane, Washington, though?
No.
Good God.
And that's like, even it's 18, 20 hours to St. Louis or Memphis for me. So it's
just stay.
By the time I get back home, I'm turning around.
Right. You just throw everything you got in the trailer and go with it.
I don't even have a trailer.
Just in your truck?
Yep. I pack everything down, and my booth folds down into pretty much nothing and stack it in. And luckily my handles are really small.
Yeah. You don't need a whole lot of room for those.
Nope. No. And a lot of times now, like I used to take some apparel, but it's just not worth it. Like I'm not an apparel company. So I'll sell some hats and shirts later, but
it's just weighing you down.
It's going to be interesting to see with Des Moines, Delta's deal in Des Moines, how that works out, because Oklahoma City was not very good.
Yeah. And like, I understand, trying to move it around to find a good location, and it was an all right show. It wasn't great. I think everybody's glad we're not going back. So, and I think they'll make improvements. I hope Des Moines is a better one for sure.
It just seems like a deer hunting area.
What?
Yeah.
Des Moines.
Oh, Des Moines. Oh, yeah. Oklahoma City I liked because we were 2 hours and 45 minutes from home.
Yeah.
And we don't ever get that. So I really enjoyed it. The side of town was the homeless capital, I guess, of America. It was terrible. But I didn't mind Oklahoma City, but it just didn't have, like, Little Rock was really, really busy, and Baton Rouge was really busy. And Oklahoma City just was not. In Des Moines, I don't know what's going to happen in Des Moines. I mean, we're going to be there, but I don't know what to expect. Man, DU at Memphis was absolutely amazing. That was so center located, and it was such a good deal. And it's crazy because you start looking at the map, and hell, it was closer to Washington D.C. than it was for us. You don't realize how center Memphis and St. Louis are on those shows compared to everywhere else.
Yeah. Yep.
And Des Moines is a long drive. Hell, that's a 12-hour drive for us.
Yeah. But it's, hopefully they pull some of that upper Midwestern. Because, like, the Oshkosh show is another one that's a great little show.
Yeah, they say it's growing like crazy.
Yeah, it's like it's growing really well, and the organizers are really on top of things, trying to make it better for the vendors and the customers. So I look for that one to keep getting better.
Oh, Oshkosh. Yeah, we don't ever go to that because it's just a day.
It's 2 days now.
Oh, is it?
2 days now.
We almost went. We just had a lot going on.
Yeah.
Then you've got, I think Des Moines is going to wreck the game fair. Now, game fair's got a lot of local people that go there, but from Des Moines to Minneapolis is not a long drive. And I think they're going to
No.
pull in a lot of the Minneapolis people are going to come to Des Moines to Delta.
Yeah, game fair. That's one, like, I didn't do it last year or this year, and it's just too long out of the shop for me. The format is okay, but it's just not. It's not my crowd. It's not who I need to be there.
Now, 2 weekends is not. It's not a good. That is a good local show, and that is as local as you can get. People walking their dogs and stuff, but it's just not. It's for a vendor. It's hard because you're there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then you go home Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you come back Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So if you're a long way off, like you said, time you get home, if you left on Monday and drove home, you're there Tuesday. On Wednesday, you got to turn around and go right back. You're eating a hotel room up for 4 or 5 days.
The only draw for that show for guys is you can bounce over to North Dakota if Early Goose comes in the 15th and it's early that week. We did that a few years ago, like in 23, I think it was. My buddy has a house over there, and we bounced over and shot a few geese and went back. And he has, so we worked on the house, got a bunch of things done. So that was nice. But if the season doesn't line up, you can't do anything anyway.
Was the hunting any good when you were out there?
The early goose.
Yeah.
We did some scouting, found some birds. And the second morning, it could have been a real good shoot. I think we shot 21 with 3 of us.
Oh, that's a good hunt.
Yeah.
I've always heard that season's kind of inconsistent because they feed so close to the water that they're roosting at. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of tricky to make it all work out.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, I think, like anything with early geese, they do whatever they want when they want.
Yeah, that is true too. Do y'all have much goose hunting in Pennsylvania where you are? Or is it primarily duck hunting?
Where I'm at, we do get a lot of time to goose hunt. We're in the RP zone, so we get 25 days in September where we can shoot 8 apiece.
Wow.
And in our season, we actually have like 3 different later seasons. So we have 4 total goose seasons, I believe, if they didn't change it. But it'll come in for a few weeks in November, and then it goes out for deer season. And then it comes back in like mid-December and goes out again in January. And then we have a February goose season. So depending, and like you'll get some migrators, but it's not like a sure thing. Most of the time we're chasing around local, like resident flocks that are bouncing like, from this town, next town, go find them 20, 30 miles away the next day or something. But
that shit's always so confusing. Like we're spoiled here. Our season opens and it closes. There's none of this bullshit of splits and all this other stuff. So I look at some of the regulations in other states and I'm like, I don't know. You got 17 different seasons.
Yeah. And thankfully for this, it just allows us a lot of time to do it. But you're chasing your tail a whole lot up here. Now we get into some good shoots, but it's only when you're doing a lot of scouting and, putting in the work.
And are there different limits for the different seasons that you have?
Yes. Yeah. So then later, I think the rest of the seasons, if they haven't changed anything, because we haven't got hit with any of the Atlantic population restrictions, I think every other season we can shoot 5 apiece.
And then you got the 8, and so so that's not too terrible. Yeah. So you got the 5 for most of the season, and you got the 8 for the special September season.
Yeah,
that's
September's.
You can keep that straight in your head.
It's like almost 4 months of hunt. Probably 3 months of hunting.
Right. When's the best time?
Man, if it gets good, the February season can be fun. Just because if your stuff starts to freeze and you actually get some cold, it forces them, stresses them a little bit, and then they got to go feed. And you can, pattern them a little better.
And it's not too cold that time of year?
Wait, too cold for what?
Fair weather hunters.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, it can be brutal. But, and because our river, there's parts of it that don't freeze. It's got to get real cold when it starts to freeze. But if you can get around those open pockets and then find where they're feeding off of that, it can get good. But it's really rare. We just haven't had winter in years. So that's, I think, like everybody else or a lot of other people, it's, we keep saying every year it can't be as bad as last year.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about that. It's crazy that everybody is saying the same thing. Like nobody gets cold anymore. I mean, they do, but it's just for a little bit. Like that deep freeze that never breaks, it's not there.
Yeah, we've had it, and like last year it threatened it, and like it got close, but it seems like every third year maybe you'll get something. But
I got too much clothes. Like I need a cold winter. I got a fancy closet of all this nice stuff, and half of it I don't ever even get to wear.
2032.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I read yesterday that there's some comet or meteor shower or something that happens every 312 years or some shit, and every time it does, the Earth takes a major cooling change.
Hell, I might not even be here in 7 years.
Well,
I'll be 45.
I just told you when it was going to happen. I didn't say you were going to be here to see it. But anyways, in 2032, it's supposed to be this cosmic event, and every year we're followed by 30 or 40 years of really cold weather. So we got to look forward to that.
All right.
Probably won't even have any goose hunting then.
I would love to have regular winters again just to see what it's like.
Yeah. Yep.
And I hate summer. I hate the hot.
Boy, it's miserable hot too. It seems like we just had a little front hit here now. Look, we got a north wind now at the lodge, so we're done for the day on being hot. So we'll be seasonably down to around 80 degrees for a high for about 3 days. And that's nice.
My thing still says 95 for the high at 3:00.
Well, I'm just telling you, we got a north wind now, so hopefully it's going to be about over. So where will we see you again at Turkey?
Probably next. Yeah. Are you going to be at Shin Gear Film Festival?
Andy, go ahead.
No, I definitely won't. That's my son. That's my oldest son's birthday.
I've got a big corporate dove hunt here. Me and Michelle may go. We're going to go to Yellowstone next week. So I don't know that I can make it work, because when it is, we're still busy at the lodge. We got a big corporate dove hunt here. So we'll see. Me and Michelle may drive up for a day or fly up for a day or two. I would like to go.
It's only a day.
And we may go. I just don't know that we can make it work with everything else we got going on. We're doing a big Shin Gear goose hunt here December 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. We're fixing to release all the details on that. It's a 3-day hunt. It's $1,500 for 3 days goose hunt and lodge and meals. 3 morning hunts. We may hunt cranes one morning. And with it, you get a pair of scout boots. So everybody gets their own scout boots. You can meet some of the Shin Gear people here. And we're going to release all the details on that. But it's $1,500 for a 3-day hunt. Includes with a set of boots. So anyways, I love the Shin. Great people. Gosh, they got the best equipment in the whole world. A great corporate group. But anyways,
they've been good. It's fun to watch them grow. Like, and they're everywhere.
We call that the Big Honker podcast effect. Because every company that has come on with us has had big time growth, except us.
You're giving yourself a lot of credit there, Jeff.
So we're taking credit for everybody's growth.
Giving yourself a big pat on the back right there, Jeff.
Us, not me, us. I'm giving us a lot of credit. But no, seriously, we have been really blessed to be involved with the best companies in the waterfowl, and it's been a growing process, and we've got to be there right along with a lot of them. So we're happy to see that.
Yeah, it's great. It's some of the companies coming out, it's good to see, like, the direction and like the thought they're putting behind the brands and really working at making it like a classy and, something that everybody can approach, hopefully, but, make it look good.
Well, they make good products. Gosh almighty, everything they have is excellent. I wear their bibs all the time. I wear their coats. I wear the boots. As soon as it cools off a little bit, I'm wearing a Shin vest and scout boots every day. I wear them all winter long. I walked a set of them often last year in Maine, I think. Me and Michelle were there. I don't know how many miles I put on my boots in a week, but I spent a lot of time on it. But anyways, they make a really good product. So you'll be at Shin Fest?
Yeah, they invite me to that, and I do some logo engraved handles, do a bunch of wax thread handles for that.
Well, good deal.
Sell those there. Yep. So
never have a slow season, do you?
Not really, not at this time. Turkey season, fortunately, like May is kind of a slow point. May, June is definitely my slowest. Before the but I'm getting ready for the summer shows. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I try to take some time in April, May, because turkey hunting's really like, that's the one thing I like to hunt. Well,
then it all works out. Got a little bit of time to catch your breath that time of year.
So far, yeah.
Cool deal. All right, dude. Well, we're gonna let you go. It's been a lot of fun getting to catch up with you at shows, and it's fun seeing your business grow and everything else. So.
Tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
All right. You can find everything on grumpyduckco.com, Instagram, grumpyduckco. Find me there. Got any questions, shoot me an email.
And you didn't name it Friendly Duck for a reason, so come correct.
That's right.
Correct.
And if you send an email, please include like a heading and a formulated sentence, maybe something nice. Yeah. Right. Attitudes get reciprocated, right?
There you go.
All right, we appreciate it, Brett. We'll see you this spring if we don't see you before then. Thank you, and God bless you, my friend.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Check him out at Grumpy Duck. Cool product, good people. We get to see him at all the shows, good guys. All right, we thank y'all for listening to us. God bless y'all, and have a great week. Peace.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Check out all of our great sponsors. Go check out Boss Shot Shells, Pacific Calls. Use our promo code BHP25, Dive Bomb Industries, Ducks Unlimited, Dirty Duck Coffee, Shin Gear, Looking Glass Podcast, Lucky Duck, Mossberg, Stanfield Outfitters, and Mitchell Chevrolet. And forgot Cedar Run Decoys. Go check them out. Get you a family heirloom.